Sis, it's a distraction.
It's a distraction.
It's a distraction.
A distraction.
Sis, it's a distraction.
Sis.
It's a distraction, not a dead end.
You can get to know me. I think that you should really get to know me. Like it if you would really get to know me. I think that you should know me. You can get to know me. I think that you should really get to know me. Like it if you would really get to know me. I think that you should know me. Know me.
Hey, with all that's going on in the world, I truly believe that it's important for us to raise our voices and let our stories be heard. And my friends over at Anchor have made that option available to us by making a podcast. They've made their entire platform free. They provide creation tools that would let you record and edit the podcast right from your phone if you're on the go or from your computer. Anchor will distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's truly everything we need to make a podcast right in one place. So if you're ready to let your voice be heard, go ahead and download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started now. Hey, Queen. Hey. Welcome back to the Queen and Me podcast. It's your host, Q, and it is Friday. So you guys know what that means. I'm here with another mini motivational message to make you reflect, restore, and rejoice. No matter where you are in your life, my goal is to spread a little hope because it is what we all need. Today's message is brought to you by me. I mean, who else did you really think was going to bring it? No, but seriously, for those who care and have noticed, I did step away again, and I realized I had tend to do this a lot, and it became a cycle and somewhat unhealthy at this point. And until I figure out the root cause and dead it, the cycle will always repeat. So I was determined, and still am, to locate the root and what actually is causing me to have these silent breakdowns, because sis, I don't really talk about it like I should to anybody. I mean, I tend to deal in silence and smile, and I know I am not the only one who actually is going through something similar to this. So I wanted to share this episode called It's a Distraction, Not a Dead End, because it's so relative to where I am right now in my life. There are many distractions that are reared that has reared its face and knocks us off course at time and 2 or 5 or however many. And if we believe or buy into what the distraction is telling us, we will delay the promise set out for our life. Now, y'all know I love the Lord, and I am in no way a preacher. I just relate what God has done for me and what I've learned in these life lessons, and I just tend to share them with you all. So the last break that I took was needed. And I want to explain, just the last year has been how it's been for me in all transparency, because y'all know I'm not scared of nobody. If you heard it, I said it. I own everything. It's called accountability. Okay. All right. No, but for real, these past few years, actually, not just, this last year, but the past few years, personally, has been extremely rough. I hid a lot of what I was actually going through because I didn't want to talk to anyone about it, or I was just tired of talking to people about it, or I thought people were tired of hearing me talk about it. These deep root issues that I myself didn't even realize they still existed. Triggers are like stressors, and it's an action or a situation that can lead to an adverse emotional reaction. And things will rear up, and we're not knowing that it's a trigger from something that happened traumatically in our life, and now we're reacting to it emotional way, okay? So let me tell you something about trauma. That it should sneak up on your tail in the worst way if you don't deal with it. And I believe for me, it wasn't that I didn't want to deal with it. It's that I didn't really know how or where to begin to deal with my issues. I talked before about my upbringing and some hurt I experienced in my childhood. And one major hurt that I experienced that I rarely say anything about because it's extremely traumatic was I was sexually abused when I was younger. I never really talked about it before because for some reason people look at the victim so weird and I don't like that. So I never really spoke on it before. But this is an example of trauma. The definition of trauma is a deeply distressing or disturbing experience. And I don't care what nobody say, that's one of the worst traumatic experiences that anybody could really ever go through. That is something that I've never really gotten over, honestly, either. And because I haven't gotten over it, it tends to affect my relationships with people. It can create trust issues, not just in relationships such as like marriage or significant others or whatever, but with my friends, family members, just anybody. When I went off to college and I had actually felt like I had gotten away from the trauma or the person or people who had hurt me, I used to pray all the time to the Lord. I mean, He know how I be. Like, what in the world did I do for you to make, like, for me to make you hate me, to allow someone to hurt me so bad in this way? Real talk. And one thing I love about God, honestly, is that He let me talk like me. Like, I can just really say what I feel and He understands, and He knows it's coming from a pure place. Like, people, I ain't got to hoop, holler, speaking tongues and nothing like that. Like, I be so sincere. I be so sincere. I be like, Lord, I know He up there laughing at me, like, child, this my daughter, and I'm gonna stick beside her. Like, I already know that's what He do with me. But it's just real, the trauma was a distraction though. And let me just kind of play back on it a little bit. So there are things in our life that, we deal with a lot. Some are major traumatic experiences. Some are just very hurtful and hard to get over. And I've been through quite a bit. Like, people who know me, they know I've been through a lot. Even in my own relationship, there's been a lot of hurt. There's been a lot of pain that I have endured. And it's hard to really get through sometimes. Every time that you feel like you're over something, it's like a trigger. Something happens and it kicks you back into this place of depression or, being very anxious or just not really knowing how to move forward. I've had time countless. I said before that if you don't deal with it, it'll become a cycle. Like, I'll always get over it and then something can trigger it and I'm back in that space again. And I don't know about if I'm the only, I don't believe I'm the only person, but I will be honest and transparent with mine that I know that I've had situations where I've come out of something or I've gotten over something, but a trigger caused me to go back in that deep place that I was. I said I never wanted to go to again. And I would come out again and then it happens again. A cycle. And until we understand, or until I understood or figured out what the root cause or where this is coming from, it will continuously be a cycle. So I was determined to like, okay, girl, listen, I'm tired of us coming out and going back in. Like, I'm tired of being happy in one moment and then extremely exhausted and overwhelmed and having anxiety attacks in the next. Like, it was unbearable. It was becoming too much for one person to really handle. But as I was saying, these things that happen in our life are distractions. These things that come in place or kind of knock us off course, they are distractions. And if we believe or if we buy into what the distraction is trying to feed us or what the distraction is trying to tell us, then we will delay where we're supposed to be going or what was already destined for our life. The trauma that I experienced hurt. It was a distraction. Hurt like hell. Yes, but it was a distraction because I know the enemy is smart enough to know that if he can keep my mind on the actual hurt or the pain that something had caused me, then I won't be able to see where actually I'm supposed to be positioned at, like where I'm supposed to be or what God really is trying to teach me or show me in the situation. And I know this sounds like right now in this very moment, I know I'm in the right stable mind to know that this is exactly what I've been experiencing. This is what's been happening, that I tend to, yes, go through things and somehow allow these words of negativity or these words of hurt and pain or experiences or that I've gone through in my life to rear its head again. And then I'm back in a space where it consumes me, like literally sucks the life out of me. If any one of my friends are listening, they can attest to it. They've seen it literally happen to me before. And I don't want to be that person. I don't want to allow or continue to allow these experiences, these traumatic experience, or this hurt, to have power, have that much power over me. I look at it like this: if God created me, and I believe in God. I don't know what you believe in if you're listening right now, but I believe in God. So if you don't believe in God, well, you need to keep listening, because I'm gonna always profess Him, and hopefully you get something out of this, and then it makes you want to believe. Okay, but I believe in God. And I believe that if God is all powerful and He has every single, like everything He designed, I mean, He can really lift He can blow his stuff some air and, and heal something else, or change a situation. If He is that powerful, and I am a product of His power, then how am I allowing these things, these circumstances, to have more power over me than what He has? Does that make sense? Like, I literally, like, when I tell you that I met this past week, I like really wrote this out. I'm like, girl, because I'm sick of it. I'm tired. I am tired. I am tired of hurting. I'm tired of allowing these things, people, words to dictate my outlook, or dictate my emotion, or how I'm reacting. Like, I refuse to continue to live in that way when I serve the all-knowing God, the all-powerful God, who has all power, to allow these small things to have power over me. Yeah. The trauma was definitely a distraction. And yes, it hurts. Yes, what they said hurt me. That hurts you. Yes, what you went through hurt you. Yeah, you got laid off at your job. It was ridiculous. It tore your mind up because you didn't know what was going to happen. Like, these things hurt. These things hurt, and it will make you depressed when you just can't see a way out of something. Like, it does. It will make you just, you're just really thinking in your head, like, how the heck am I going to come out of this? How am I going to get through this? But as I said, like, if we keep our minds on the hurt, like, if me personally, I knew that if I kept my mind on what hurt me, or what's going on in my relationship, or my home life, or who said what about me, or these little cliques at work running their mouth, because that's the only way they're going to do it, because they're going to come to my face. But these cliques at work, they're running their mouth. I don't care what if I continue to keep that on my mind, let that consume my mind, then I am going to always allow the distraction to have precedence over what I am supposed to be doing. And that is not how that's supposed to go. Why are we easily distracted? Why? I really had to sit like, why are you easily distracted? Is it that you don't believe that you deserve what God has put in you? Is it that you have lack of faith, that you don't trust yourself with the gifts that God has given you? Like, I really had to map it out for myself. Like, girl, I believe now, I really do believe everything that I am set out to do. I can really see. My eyes are open. It doesn't mean that I won't have, there might not be another trigger, but at least I'm more mindful at this point to know that, okay, girl, this is something trying to come in my way. Somebody trying to come say something, or my, whoever, friend, cousin, baby, I don't care who you are, try to come and throw some negative words my way. Then I know, okay, that's just a distraction, girl. Don't get don't get overexcited. Don't get upset. Don't try to snap back, because you know how we do, ladies. Don't snap back at it. Just realize that it is a distraction that's trying to keep my focus off of what is important. Obstacles that we face in our life are distractions. Work can be a distraction. Worrying is a distraction. Your kids acting crazy is a distraction. Your husband or your wife is clueless about something. It's a distraction. The enemy will use anything and anyone to keep us distracted from what we are purposed or destined to do. And if we are not careful, we will start believing a lot of the lies that he's throwing our way, and believe that we are undeserving, or believe that, girl, you can't do it. Girl, don't do it. Like, we will start believing that, and it will cause us to delay the promise. It doesn't mean, I love the scripture says promises delayed are not denied. So it's not that the promise is not ours. Sometimes we delay the promise ourselves by where we are or what we choose to, because the thing about God is he gives us a choice. So it can be mapped out right there, but I'll be like, all right, Lord, I'm gonna just turn this way because I don't really know if that's for me. Like we tend to delay the things ourselves. Like a lot of things that I know we're facing are life lessons. Like he's trying to build character. He's trying to build strength. He's trying to build patience. I know I'm not the only one. Like I used to think growing up, I was like, Lord, give me patience, Lord. Lord, give me patience. Like, give me patience. I'm thinking like he's just going, ding, you got patience. No, baby. He places us in situations and circumstances that's going to cause us to build patience. I used to be so confused because I'm like, Lord, now I know I've been praying for patience. And God, it seems like everything is just thrown at me at one time. Why on earth would you go, aside what the prayer was? But this is how he operates. That is how he operates. And I had to learn that I had to learn that probably in my teens or 20s. I've been in church all my life, but it doesn't mean that I always knew what the word of God was or what it was professing or proclaiming. Doesn't mean, and I want people to really stop trying to make people think, oh, I've been in church all my life. You're lying. We all ain't, listen, now, I'm going to speak for me because I ain't going to talk about y'all. I'm going to speak for me. Like, I've been in church all my life, yes. But growing up, we went because we had to go. It wasn't until I really wanted to create a relationship for myself is when I started really believing and connecting with the word of God. And that's just me personally. And I just want to say that because I'm like, we tend to be making these kids feel like we were saved all our life and ain't got time yet. Like, baby, I'd have had a few moments. I'd have had a few setbacks, okay? Still love the Lord, but it doesn't mean I got everything right all the time. But yes, but those were distractions as well. Like I said, we definitely have to be mindful of the things that are thrown in our path, or what's placed in front of us when things start getting out of disarray or out of order. We need to recognize those as distractions. Okay, whatever you have a goal, that's just like in business. I have a goal. If you have a goal for your business and you set out to sell this many items by this date, and you want to reach this financial goal by this date, well, there's work that has to go into that. But in the midst of the work, there are going to be stumbling blocks along the way. You might have a dead week where you don't sell anything. You might have a couple of returns for broken items that's going to cause you to lose on some revenue. You might have some angry customers. You might have to go back and redo a product because now the product, something's going on with it and it's causing some type of effect on others, and you're not having to put more money in to make the product better so that it's more efficient for your consumers, and you're losing money, whatever. The goal never changed. The financial goal never changed. You still want to reach this financial goal, but these were stumbling blocks along the way that you still had to figure out how to navigate through. You could have thrown and be like, all right, I ain't gonna reach that goal because I got all this stuff going on. Oh my God, I ain't gonna be able to reach that goal because I got to replace this. I got to put my money in this, money in this, money in this. And if you were allowing the stumbling blocks to if you allowed the stumbling blocks to really get in your head, you was just like, all right, I'm gonna quit because obviously this is not for me. Maybe this is not the business I'm supposed to be in. Maybe this is not the route I'm supposed to be taking. That's what distractions can do. That's the purpose of the distraction, to get you off course, to make you believe that this is not the route that God wants you to go, to make you believe that this is not what you're supposed to be doing, to make you believe that this is not going to be worth it. But if you keep in your mind, okay, this is okay, this is a little setback, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep pressing. How are you going to respond to it? It's how we respond. It's not really what's going on. It's how we actually respond to the distraction. How we're responding in the midst of an obstacle, in the midst of a distraction, is what really matters. So if you responded in the way of you're going to give up, you would not have reached the goal that you set for yourself. Same in our walk with the Lord. Same in our own mental health in our life and our goals for our life. Same as that. Like, I want to reach this and do this by a certain age, and I've been going through so much things mentally. The regular, people out here just looking at me probably be like, this girl is crazy. She's crazy. But I will be called a crazy person till the end of time because I believe I know what I am purposed to do. I know what it is. So it may look crazy because I've been dealing with so much and having so many setbacks. Doesn't mean I'm not going to reach the goal. Doesn't mean I'm not going to fulfill the purpose. So that's what we have to do. Sis, it's a distraction. It's not a dead end. That's what we have to get out of our head, is that, oh God, when this happened, oh God, I just got to give up. I got to stop. I need to stop. Oh God, that's it. It's over. I ain't gonna make it. I ain't gonna be able to do it. I'm not strong enough. Apparently I'm not. No, listen, I've fallen so many times. I have not listen. I have not always gotten it right. I have made some mistakes. I have, just personally failed some tests the Lord has set out for me. Listen, but I am not giving up. And that is the difference. And that is where I am now. And that's where I am now. Like, yeah, I hurt. Even 2 weeks ago, I was like, something was consuming me so bad. I went to church and I was so overwhelmed. I couldn't shake it to save my life. Like, I was trying so hard to fight it off of me, and I couldn't even get it together. That's how overwhelmed and consumed it had my mind. But when I tell you the power that prayer has is crazy. It is crazy. It's so awesome to know that, yeah, I might look like this one day. Yeah, I might look down and out, pitiful, pole, ain't got it together, mind going crazy. But anything can change. God can change anything, any situation. He can turn anything around. He can turn anything around. I'm sorry, I try not to get emotional about it, but I've been through a lot. But what I know and what I believe is that every distraction that I have been through it will not stop me from fulfilling any purpose that I have for my life. It is not the end for me. It is not the end for you. Those things are hard to get through, hard to get over, but you will. But we will. We will, because it's only a distraction. It's meant to try to knock you off course, honey. It's meant to make you lose your mind. It's meant to make you feel like you can't not do it. But you have to know, like, you have to already know that without a shadow of a doubt, regardless of how this is going right now, or regardless of what you're experiencing right now, that it is merely a distraction. And purpose is not forfeited just because distractions come in your way. We all are going to face something in life. It doesn't forfeit our promise. It doesn't forfeit your purpose. It doesn't matter if you fail the test 25 times, baby. If that is the purpose and that is the promise, it will be fulfilled. You just have to believe, and don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. This is not a dead end. It's a distraction, sis. You heard what I said. It's just a distraction. Guys, I am going to stop right here because this was really good to me. I really hoped that something I have said, even from my personal experiences, just what I've learned in the midst of me taking breaks and seeing the cycle and wanting better, and just the different distractions, but knowing purpose. I hope something I've said has just encouraged you a little bit more. I hope it has provided you a little bit more hope to know that, okay, girl, I'm going to keep going. It's a distraction. You can keep going. Don't forfeit the purpose, baby, because you got distracted. No, ma'am. We will not be doing that. You are not in this by yourself. I love when people tell me that. Listen, I needed to hear that so many times because I felt that that's exactly what I was dealing with. Like, I was alone by my lonesome. Like, there was nobody who understood. But we are not in this by ourselves. We are not alone. You are not alone. And I'm so grateful. If you have a tribe, listen, connect with them. Don't ostracize yourself or isolate yourself from those people who truly do love you, who truly want to see you do good. Like, don't push yourself or push them away and isolate yourself. You need them. God has placed different people in my life. I'm so grateful. Each person have a purpose, and I'm grateful for them. And I need them. I need them just as well as they need me. So if you have a tribe, definitely continue to connect with them. Iron sharpened iron. I say that all the time. Like, sometimes I don't have something. I might not have something right now, but you have it. And me connected with you will just help sharpen me a little bit more to keep going and not give up. I truly love you guys. Thank you so much for just tuning in today. This will also be on the YouTube channel. Please connect with me there. Leave a comment. Tell me how you liked the episode. Share it with someone who you feel also needs to hear this message. Again, y'all do not categorize me. I'm not a minister in any way, shape, or form. I just merely am using what I've been through and what I'm learning in this process, even dealing with mental health and dealing with my own life experiences. I'm just merely sharing, what I've gone through and how I overcome and am overcoming. I have not arrived yet, but I am striving. As we all should. But I love you. Thanks for not giving up on the Queen and Me podcast. I am back. I'm here to stay. And by the grace of God, we will be back next week. So until next time, I love you. And it's the Queen, and I'm out.
Broken, damaged, not basic or average. Your words cannot defeat what my purpose commanded. Oh girl, don't you know who you are? Girl, don't you know who you are? I'm stronger, I'm Victor, royal, a queen. I am a dreamer, and I will accomplish everything. Oh girl, don't you know who you are? Girl, don't you know who you are?